Okay, so I wanted to come on really quick just to say hi because it has been a hot minute since I've been on Facebook. And also I wanted to talk about the energy. So I made a couple little notes, but there's so much going on, you guys, as far as the energy goes. And I've been thinking about this all day and I kept putting it off. I've been doing all of my other things that I usually do on Saturday. I got my laundry done, doing all the things to avoid coming live because it's been so long since I've been on here. I feel like I'm out of practice. But that being said, there's been a lot coming through, especially like in the last year from my guides and angels about the way that our bodies are beginning to work with these light codes, the light particles, everything that's coming in from our solar system and our galaxy and beyond that, to be honest. But one of the things that's really important as we move into 2024, what I feel like is most important than anything that we need to understand, and in the membership, we've been talking about this. So those of you that are in Ascension Club, thank you so much for being in my membership. I love each and every one of you, and I love that we're in there, and I love we've been talking about this because that means there's a few of us that can kind of like help the people around us. And the more that we share with other people, the more that they're going to know that they're not going crazy and that this is really happening and, all of those things. So this energy that's been coming in, there's so many different ways to put quote unquote terminology to it, right? I don't have the scientific background, but you can look all of this up through like the NASA website, through the Schumann resonance, like there's all of these different websites. And I actually have that shared in the Facebook group. So if you're not in my private Facebook group, which is called Spiritual Living with Jennifer, it used to be the Embodied Grace community. So I kind of left that tag in there. I'm going to take out this earring. I don't know if you guys are hearing it, but I am. So I'm going to take that out. We've been talking a little bit about this, but in the membership, we've talked about it a lot over, I would say, like the last year. So about a year ago, my guides started talking about this new frequency that was coming in, the new vibration of the planet. And there's more galactic feeling guides and angels available to us in this current experience. Like we're used to the 3D way that Earth has been, but as we ascend, as we awaken, and all that means is just understanding higher levels, right? So there's so many so many ways to get caught up in this and make it seem like it's some big, woo-woo thing. It's not that woo-woo. It's just part of the natural progression. And we are awakening to new things. We're understanding higher things in our higher mind. We're evolving into being able to understand more than we would have, say, 50 years ago, right? Even 10 years ago, honestly. Like a lot of us have had a very big awakening in the last maybe 10, 15 years. And I feel like it's ramping up again. Like I feel like there's new people that are like, I don't really know what this experience is. I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna look really quick on my phone and see, if anybody's watching, can you guys give me a thumbs up or something and let me know if this is coming through clearly? I'm not sure if the Wi-Fi here is very good today, but just let me know. Let me see if I look at it this way. Okay, I see a hi. So that's good. Um, is it coming through okay? Okay, I see a thumbs up. Oh wow, it does it on the Zoom now. I had no idea that that was a capability. See, it's been a long time since I've been on live. Anyhow, so getting back to the energy. The big thing is we're beginning to understand things that we didn't understand before. So I wanted to say, if you've been like somebody who, yes, you have a spiritual practice, and yes, you believe in God, and yes, you believe there's more to meets the eye here on the planet, and all of a sudden you're having strange experiences, don't freak out. Like it is time. We're waking up. It is time for a lot of people. It's just part of the experience that we're in, and we're being brought to awareness of deeper spiritual truths. Okay, so that's really in a nutshell what's happening is you're being spiritually awakened to spiritual truths that have either been hidden or weren't ready yet, or it wasn't time for you yet. Like there's no reason to like judge why it's just now happening. But what I want to say is don't let it overwhelm you and don't be afraid of it. We want to, as we go through these things, the thing is to stay grounded, to stay calm. And this brings me to what my guides are saying about 2024. We really need to be in control of our nervous system. Okay. Now, it's the nervous system is an electrical thing that runs our physical body, right? So like, again, bare bones, I talk very layman's terms. Like I laugh like just a redneck. I have pretty simple terminology for this. I don't have a science degree in the physical body. I'm not a doctor, yada, yada. But we are an electrical being. Our brain fires off electrical triggers. That's what makes everything happen in our body, right? But also, as we ascend, we begin to have different kind of electrical impulses. And then our planet as a whole is ascending as well. And we're feeling energy from the different parts of the neutrinos and the light codes that are coming from our galaxy. So it's back in the day, my grandpa, it was so funny because he was very like in tune with the weather and things like that. And I'm sure you guys all probably have some kind of experience with somebody like a grandpa or an aunt and uncle, something where they're like, oh, I can feel a storm coming, right? Because they could feel it in their bones, they could feel it in the pressure, they knew the barometer was changing. It's the same thing for us. The only difference is we're feeling that on a more galactic level. We're feeling the energy from the galaxy coming in. Now, again, I'm not a scientist on this kind of stuff, but you can look at NORAD, you can look at like all of the different things where they look at the geomagnetic weather, and you can see that there is an uptake. Now, again, this is a cycle. Everything on this planet is in cycles. So I want to say this is like an 11-year cycle of solar minimum, solar maximum, but it's hitting us a little bit earlier. I believe the science says it was going to hit like around 2026. But they're saying now that it's actually, we're at the height of it, like it's coming way faster. These stronger like X flare solar flares and things like this. The CMEs, which is coronal mass ejections. Again, in my Facebook group, Spiritual Living Today, or Spiritual Living with Jennifer Embodied Grace Community. I can drop the link in here later. But in my Facebook group, there's a link for that because it's really important, not that you go and learn and dive into all the science and try to figure it out, but just so that you're aware of it, right? And if you want the science, it's there. Now, again, coming back to me, I've just naturally learned about this because I'm in communication with my guides. I'm in a spiritual practice daily. And so when this started happening for me, I was like, what's going on? Right. So I'm like, okay, God, what is this? Like, I'm asking Jesus and the angels, like, help me figure out what's going on here. And basically what's happening is our bodies become refined. And as we're in that refinement, then we are then more able to attune to and more clear in our frequency so that we can actually feel and interpret possibly the frequencies, right? So those solar flares that are coming in, because we're more in awareness of our body and not so distracted, our energy is not so scattered out, right? Because when you're normally back in the day, I was like busy. I had a million things going on. I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Like I was always busy, right? So when you're in that busy state, your body and your energy is already scattered anyway. So when you become more aware of your nervous system, when you start breathing and when you start being more intentional about what you're doing, it helps your body calm down. And when your body begins to calm down, your nervous system can calm down. And then you're actually able to perceive a little bit more because you're not in that state, right? Like you're not in a scurried state. So somebody's asking if this goes along with my new calendar. I think you're probably talking about the journals, and I'm going to talk about those next. But I just wanted to talk about the energy, and I wanted to make sure that if you focus on nothing, focus on your nervous system. Focus on supporting yourself. Again, you guys, I am big on minerals and water and all of the things that support our physical body, because if we can keep our physical body supported, then we can feel a little bit more stable and grounded, right? But then also do all the things, the meditation, the journaling, whatever that is for you that helps you keep yourself calm. Breathing by far is one of the easiest ways to calm your nervous system. Okay, so take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. That's something that I don't know how I need to do this, but anytime like somebody gets excited, the first instinct I have is take a breath. Let's take a minute, take a breath, and then assess what's going on, right? So we want to be very intentional as we move forward. So the question about the journals, and I'm glad you actually asked this. So again, I just created this journal. I actually created this for me, but then I decided to go ahead and have it printed. So I put it up on Amazon. I've already got some ideas of how I'm going to make it different for next year, but everything about this is very intentional, from the cover to the way the cover feels and to the color of the pages, because this journal, for me, this is meant to be a notebook, but I couldn't get it printed in spiral bound. I don't know why there's such a big thing right now, but I couldn't find any place that would put it in a spiral bound notebook. So I just created it as a notebook. I have no idea. It might be backwards on here, but it's basically, you can go to Amazon, 2024 Divine Alignment Notebook. I left this space here so that if you want to write your goal or your vision, or if you want to write like an affirmation that you're going to use for this year, use that space, put it in with the light codes in this cover, right? Like this is the power of creation is what I wanted to put on this cover. So if you want to use that space, use a black marker or a highlighter, or not a highlighter, use some kind of a permanent marker so that it doesn't like smudge all over, but you can write your affirmation in there. You could do it with a pen, whatever, right? Then the next thing is the whole point of this is, one of the things that my guides and angels have been reminding me is that the word hope originally did not mean what we think it does now. Like the word hope in the beginning, if you look back to the original way that was used, and you guys know, I always look back at the Bible because of the terms in there and the way that they're used. And so whether you look at that or not, if you research the word hope, you're going to find that the original definition of hope wasn't a pipe dream. It wasn't like, oh, that'd be great, I hope that would happen, right? That's not how this word was originally meant. We've kind of tweaked it and we use it a little bit wrong. But in the original context of the way that it was written and the way that it was meant to be used is a confident expectation, assurance, and a certainty of something that would happen. So you were hoping, you were waiting on it to happen. You were expecting it to happen. And it was like an excited anticipation of when it was coming, not like, I wonder if it'll ever show up. It was like, it's coming. When is it going to be here? Right. So there's a difference in that. So when you have prayer with belief, it makes it so powerful. So again, I really feel like I want to go back to part of the reason that the cover feels the way that it does, and part of the reason I used cream in the pages is to help calm, because we've got to be calming our nervous system as we move through this year, just so that we can handle the incoming energy, so that we can be still enough to hear our divine guidance. And again, whatever that is for you, God, source, universe, I'm not going to judge what that is for you. Again, through my own lens, this is God, and God is my universe, is my source, is all of those things. So however you use that word for you is exactly how I want you to use it. But in that space, when you're calm, you can actually hear divine guidance much more clearly. So I love to journal. That's one of the ways that I like to calm myself down. That's one of the things that works the best for me. And so journaling is something I love to do. But I also like to work with the energies that are at play. And I know I have a very like my view of this is a little bit different, I think, than most people. I always laugh and I say, I don't feel like God just threw us down here and said, good luck, peace out, good luck, I hope you can do this. I don't feel that way. I feel like he gave us the Bible as a manual. Like even a toaster is going to have some kind of operation manual, right? So we've got something that says, these are some things that you can do to operate correctly and easily and make things work a little bit better when you're on this planet. And then I feel like the stars and the astrology are actually like a map of things, of the seasons that we're in and the energy that's showing up for us. And so what I've done is combined a little bit of all of it for each month. So I have this actually starting now. I feel like the new year actually starts with it, like in the spring, right? But for the purpose of getting this ready to start using in January, I start with Aquarius, which starts January 20th. But when we're in each season, each month, what I've done is I put the full moon, I've put the monthly theme. And when we're working with Aquarius energy, Aquarius is like, I know what's going to happen. I know how things work. I know. So when we're in Aquarius season, which would be from January 20th to February 18th, give or take a day or two here or there, because the energy always overlaps. It's not like this is the date and the time and now the energy is different. It doesn't work that way. It's a little bit of flow, right? Ebb and flow. When you're journaling, be in, like, part of journaling for me is being in awareness of what I'm feeling. And if I'm feeling off kilter, or if I need to journal something out, I'll be like, okay, where is it that I'm stuck in my head thinking, I know this is how it's supposed to be, but maybe that's not what it is. So knowing that we're in Aquarius, there's a little bit of extra energy saying, oh, I know. So, okay, I need to question, what is it I think I know? Because we can look at this in a very powerful way. Like, yes, I know these truths to be true. And you can anchor into those and make them more adamant and be in your power and authority of your spiritual truth, right? And then you can also be like, okay, where am I being bullheaded? And I need to look at, where do I think I know? And I might need to actually take a step back. On top of that, I do have the angel that is corresponded with the zodiac for that. So the angel of the month, for example of Aquarius, is Uriel. So you could work with Archangel Uriel. And I also put some crystals in there that are good to work with. And I do put the date of the full moon and the new moon that corresponds within those dates of that time frame. So when you're journaling through this, it's basically a notebook, right? But each month there's going to be a little page that says, okay, this is kind of the theme of what's going on during these dates. So be aware of that when you work through it. Now, again, this is for somebody that already either wants a notebook to just write in and have a little extra thing, or it's for somebody that is already knows how to do a journaling practice, right? So you could use it either way. There's no right or wrong. But if you're brand new to journaling, this one is the one that I think is the best to use, because each day it actually gives you prompts of exactly so that you can learn how to journal, right? So if you're in a space where there's two ways to use this as well. So first of all, if you're getting new to journaling and you're not sure what to write, this gives you prompts for every single day. It's a 90-day journal, and it actually gives you an affirmation. And then it gives you like 5 things that you want, like focus on 5 things that you want, what your ideal day would look like. And there's, in the beginning of the book, at the front, I actually put examples, because one of the things in the beginning for me, I didn't know how to journal. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to write. So instead of getting stuck on what am I supposed to write, I made some examples. So these are already filled out just to give you an idea, right? And I think I did it on 2 different things. I think I published this a long time ago, 2016 or 17, I think. So I think I did one example was financial and one was for like health. So there's examples in there to help you figure out how to start journaling, because journaling is such a powerful practice, in my opinion. And again, I think journaling does help. I'm trying to find the comments now. How do I do that? Journaling does help me personally with being calm. So it's something that I can physically do. You can get your things out, you know, get your energy out, whatever. Okay, I hear all clear, so that means my video is working, which is good because I just kept going anyway. And does that answer the question on about this being the journal or the calendar? I think that's what you meant by the calendar, but I'm not 100% certain. Anyway, guys, that being said, I'm also going to be using, like, since I'm going to be using this again, I created this for myself. And then I decided, you know, I know some of the people in my membership group would like this as well. So of course I'm like, I'm just going to get it on Amazon. I'm going to print it out so that everybody can go along with me. In the Facebook group, we'll be going kind of through those themes each month anyway, just to kind of keep us on track, because I feel like it's really super important to be intentional as we move through these next few years, right? Like, I know there's been a lot going on in the last 3-4 years, right? Like 2020 just really shifted everything on the planet. There's so much to be said about the way we're shifting from a 3D reality, which is what we've known in the past. But again, something my guides have been saying and something we've been working with in the Ascension Club membership is really letting go of what was. Because the way that we are on the planet right now, we can't compare it, because we've never had this experience on this planet before. So I hope that this is helpful. Nervous system, it is going to be key this year. If nothing else, focus on your nervous system. And again, I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you what to do, but do the minerals, do the water, like do whatever you can to help take care of yourself, and take a deep breath. Take a breath. Let yourself calm down. Even if it's just 2 minutes a day. If you find yourself at work in the middle of the day and you're really stressed out, like if you notice it, be like, okay, I got to give myself just a minute. I used to laugh with some of the ladies that I worked with. I'm like, this was back, oh my gosh, this was like, feels like 100 years ago when I was teaching the meditation classes. And I was like, even if you're at work, like nobody can tell you can't go to the bathroom. So if you have to, go to the bathroom and just be like, okay, just gonna breathe for just a minute, right? Like give yourself just a minute. Another thing, actually, speaking of that, going to the restroom, like one of the things that's really good that's helpful for me is if you get overwhelmed and you feel like your energy is really erratic, wash your hands. And if you're home or if you're somewhere where you can, a salt scrub for your hands, very good way to kind of pull some of the energy and let the energy, the salt actually works like to balance the ions. Like there's a lot of science behind that too. It feels good. That's all I care about. It's like, it feels good. So do a salt scrub on your hands, whatever you need to do to help calm your nervous system. So sending you guys lots of love today. Thanks for those of you that are watching me today live and letting me test this back out, because like I said, it's been a minute since I've been live on Facebook, but sending you guys lots of love, and I will talk to everybody soon.